Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel, Global Happenings Today, a home of political news and reports on some key events in the country. Last year, the court gave a pronouncement that bandits should be included as one of the insurgent groups in the country, and expectations of Nigerians were very high considering the speed with which the federal government gazetted the judicial pronouncement of IPOB as a terror group in 2017. Most people were expecting that they are going to do same to the judicial pronouncement on bandits. But shockingly, up till today, we've not heard anything about gazetting, that judicial pronouncement on bandits. And right now, the senior advocate of Nigeria and also Attorney General of the Federation talking about Abubakar Malami has taken out time to give his reaction why that delay compared to when the time of IPOP was. Why the delay up till now? We're going to be looking at all of that in a jiffy. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our video. The Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, senior advocate of Nigeria, says the federal government is yet to officially designate bandits as insurgents because the government is following international best practice. He said his office was in the process of gazetting a court judgment that ordered the government to declare bandits as insurgents, adding that the process would be concluded in a matter of days. Malami, who spoke on Tuesday as a guest on NTA Good Morning Nigerian show monitored by us, stated that in states in the northwest geopolitical zone, including Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, and Kaduna, have been ravaged with banditry in the last year. The nefarious activities of the marauders have also split into the north central and other zones in the country. The bandits have killed hundreds of innocent persons, kidnapped several others, including students, with some still in their custody, while some are nursing injuries sustained during the attack. There have been clamor by many Nigerians, including sociopolitical groups, that bandits should be declared as insurgent group like the bloodthirsty Boko Haram insurgent group. Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja on November 26, 2021, had granted an ex parte application by the federal government for Nyang Bindiga, Hausa word for gunmen, and Nyang Ta'ada, Hausa word for terrorists, to be declared as insurgents. But the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari has not done so over a month after. Whereas in the case of the indigenous people of Biafra, Malami was able to gazette the designation of IPOB as insurgent group on the same day that Justice Abdul Kafarati gave the order on September 20, 2017. Speaking on Tuesday, Malami said the government acted swiftly in declaring IPOB and Boko Haram as terror group because of the threats to life and property they have caused in the nation. He said government has a responsibility to act, but within the context of acting, you equally expected to operate within the confines of international best practice associated with engagement, and one of such best practice is that you can only use maximum force on groups, individuals that are declared terrorists, and that is where the application of the Terrorism Act comes in place. With that in mind, Nigeria acted first by proscribing IPOB, taking into consideration the threats to life and properties they have caused in the nation. Boko Haram was proscribed also. The AGTF noted that the good result arising from outlawing IPOB and Boko Boys bore the government to consider the proscription of bandits and the use of military hardware against the marauders. He said, now we are confronted with another threat in the northwest associated with banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and in all these people are using weapons to attack Nigerians, kidnapping them and created a situation of serious security challenges and fear in the system. Whatever military hardware you acquire, there are limits within the context of the International Convention as to how it can be used, when it can be used, and against who it can be used. And that is how the idea of looking at activities of the bandit, cattle rustlers, kidnappers come into being. Our assessment, taking into consideration that they are causing a major threat to the territorial peaceful coexistence and causing a major threat to lives with weapons, the idea then came about that indeed the bandits have satisfied the criteria of being declared insurgents within the context of the law, so that whatever military hardware at the disposal of the federal government can best be used against them within the context of the International Convention and within the context of the law. On why his office has not gazetted the court order designating bandits as an insurgency group, the senior advocate of Nigeria said that the gazetting of a court order or judgment is a process, but what matters fundamentally within the context of international convention is the judicial declaration, and that has been obtained. The court has declared bandits, kidnappers, cattle rustler as insurgents. So, with or without the gazette, what gives effect to such declaration is a judicial pronouncement, but the gazette is a mere formality, and it has been on, and I believe within a matter of days it will be concluded. I mean, this is very, very interesting. Now, if you had followed us line by line, precept by precept, you will get to a point where there was a reflection on the timeline that the judicial pronouncement on IPOB was being gazetted. According to the info, the day it was gazetted was the same day that declaration was made by Justice Abdul Kafarati. Immediately, IPOB was pronounced that based on the activities, they have been pronounced to be an insurgency group. According to info, Malami was able to gazette the designation of IPOB that same day. Justice Abdul gave the order, which is precisely September 2017. Now, the big question is, why is it that of bandits have stayed this long without it being gazetted? All of a sudden, we are hearing that it must go through processes. And the question is, why is it that the processes never took any time during IPOB's own case? And in the case of these other people, it's almost taking 1 or 2 months. Up till now, Nigeria have not heard anything about it. And he said that the reason for the delay is because everything is done according to international best practice. And someone is asking a question, what is international best practice? These guys have satisfied everything that has to do with insurgency. We've heard how Nigeria has turned out, especially the North Central, and even virtually the whole North has turned out to be like a war-torn zone. You understand? People are not going there. Really, you see people even, trying to go to their hometown in the northern part of Nigeria via the road, because you don't know if you will arrive safely. And this thing is not only affecting, those who are living in communities or hinterlands and all of that. It's even affecting political office holders. We've had cases where most of them go in, they're being kidnapped, and they don't even come out alive and all of that. So the question is, why was all this delay? Why is it that we did not act, the government did not act as if that was overly important? It has to be done. We're talking about IPOB. As at the time they were proscribed, those guys never used anything like weapon against anybody. Never used any weapon. Now, they were proscribed far back 2017. Fairly recently, when they started going after Fulani headsmen, was when it was as if they were going to take over their lands in the southeast. That's when they raged and say, for what? They had to form the military group, militia group, to ensure they strictly stay in the bushes to stop these guys, so that their women and children and also their men who are farmers can enjoy their farming work without being held back. But for the bandits, theirs is too obvious that even a child would tell you that these guys should have been long proscribed because their influence is horrible. Fairly recently, we heard what the Kaduna State governor said about them, that if he was the one, they wouldn't even exist. He has even decided to like give up. The news that we heard this morning was that even the forests should be cleared off. Later on, we can plant trees. Why? Their effect on both the political atmosphere, the economic atmosphere, the educational atmosphere, the survival of those people is too impactful that no one should even waste time with such people. The question is, why is the waste of time? I'll leave you to it. Let's go to our comment section. What's your position on what Malami, the senior advocate of Nigeria, who is also, the Attorney General of the Federation, what do you think he means by the words he said?